It's an energetic crowd this morning. Good morning to everybody, and welcome to Middlesex County College. I am Aaron Fickner, and I have the honor to be the president of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, and it is wonderful to be with all of you here today for our 18th annual Best Practices Conference. We are ecstatic to be here at Middlesex County College, and to welcome us here this morning, the president of Middlesex County College, Joanne LaPerla Morales.
Thank you. Good morning. And usually I just say welcome to our beautiful campus, which I will say welcome to our beautiful campus. We're very proud of our campus and the facilities that we have for our students. But Aaron asked me to talk a little bit. See, this is what happens when you get to be old. They ask you to talk about things, issues perhaps that are facing community colleges. So I thought about this last night, and I have a list. I'm not going to talk for half an hour. I'm just going to say that these are some of the issues that I think are facing all of us as leaders in higher education in New Jersey. And all of you in this room today are leaders. It doesn't matter what position we have at our college. We all bring something and are trying to move our institutions to support our students. And that's what we all need, the leadership. So here are some of the things that I think are leadership issues for us. Of course, one is always cost containment. The other is increasing reliance on part-time faculty. The other is improving our articulation agreements, not only with four-year institutions, but with K-12. Another is general education. When do we ever have a year that we're not talking about general education, whether it is the proliferation of our courses or the ability to get them approved through the Gen Ed committee? Placement policies, aligning our curriculums more with the K-12. Middle States accreditation standards. I was just talking to someone who just went through a Middle States, and Middle States has changed their standards, and we all need to understand the new standards and be prepared for accreditation. The community college role in workforce development. Career ladders linking non-credit with credit programs. Issues of collective bargaining on our campuses. Health insurance reform, and a community college role in expanding access to baccalaureate degrees. So what I didn't tell you when I started this list is, I didn't make up this list last night. I went into my files, and this was from a New Jersey President's Council meeting in 2008. So I think in 10 years, and Larry Nestle standing here shaking his head, correct? So many of our issues have not changed. Perhaps some of the ways that we're responding to those issues need to change. Perhaps some of the ways that we are informing our publics about what we do need to change. Perhaps some of the inertia that we have in some of our institutions about things, if we throw up our hands and say, well, this is never going to change, maybe that's what we need to look at. What I think is we all have an opportunity now. Community colleges, of course, have been in the press lately because the governor is talking about free community college tuition. And I'm sure all of you have heard that, have had discussions on your campus, perhaps have discussions with your local politicians. And none of us know what that means yet. So we really need to be vigilant and ready to respond with what we know would be good ways to achieve that. And I think as we go forward, I hope 10 years from now, one of you isn't standing here with the same list that we did from 2008 and 2018, and we can put a few more things on the list. So I know that the program today is a wonderful program, lots of opportunity to exchange with your colleagues, and I encourage all of you who, I know a lot of colleges brought quite a few people, try and meet some people from other institutions, because we always learn from what all of us are doing. And I give you the challenge to be the leaders in your institution, because without you, we will not fulfill our promise to our students. So thank you for being at Middlesex, and enjoy the day.
Thank you, Joanne. We appreciate your remarks this morning, and more importantly, appreciate your leadership at this very important college and in higher education in New Jersey and your service on the New Jersey President's Council, so thank you. And I want to thank the entire staff here at Middlesex County College for all of the hard work, and the students who are here to help welcome us this morning, for all of their hard work in putting on this session and this program. We could not have done it without your hospitality and your welcome and your cooperation and collaboration. So thank you. Maybe a round of applause to everyone here at Middlesex County College. So as Joanne said, this is an exciting and important time in community colleges, and it is very, very appropriate that we have, I think, the best turnout we've ever had for a best practices conference. There are about 300 people here, representing nearly all of the community colleges, all 19 community colleges. And we've got 20 sessions here today of people sharing great ideas that we hope will inspire all of us to continue to improve the 19 community colleges, and as Joanne said, to really fulfill our commitment to our students. Before I get into some remarks this morning, and I'm going to warn you that we are going to do some table exercises to get you all engaged in this conversation. I wanted to start with a couple of recognitions and thank yous. We have 5 community college presidents here this morning, and I wanted to recognize them. First, Joanne LaPerla Morales, who we've already heard from Middlesex. We have Don Borden from Camden County College. Don, if you could stand up and raise your hand. We have Steve Rose from Passaic County Community College. Steve, thank you. John Connolly from Sussex County Community College may still be in transit, but a round of applause for John. And David Stout, who's the acting president at Brookdale Community College, is on his way as well. I don't think he's here, or is he here? Not here, but he will be here later. So thank you to all the presidents who are here supporting this important event. I also wanted to recognize Phil Infante, who is a member of the Executive Committee of New Jersey Council of County Colleges. Phil is a trustee in Warren. Phil, if you could raise your hand. Thank you. Phil is on the faculty at Essex and is chairing our legislative committee, so he's a very busy man. So Phil, thank you. I also want to do a very special welcome to the past president of the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, Larry Nespoli, who is here with us today. I think all of you know that no one perhaps has done more for the community colleges in New Jersey than Larry, and so thank you, Larry, for all of your contributions and all of the innovations that you have helped push forward and will continue to push forward in community colleges. So thank you, Larry. It is an incredible honor to have this position and to be following in Larry's footsteps and to be building on an incredible foundation. So thank you. And I want to recognize Dick Wellbrock, who is here. He's the chair emeritus of the council and a member of the Governor's Higher Education Council. So, Dick, thank you for your leadership and thank you for being here as well. We could not have done this conference without our sponsors, and we will hear from them during lunch. But I just wanted to give a recognition to them as well. Our gold sponsor this year is NJEA, so thank them for their support. Our silver sponsors this year are EAB, Mass Mutual, and Voya. Our bronze sponsors are AXA Equitable, ETS, and Infobase, the National Student Clearinghouse, and NROC, Rowan University, TIAA, and I want to thank AXA Equitable for their contribution for the lanyards that you all are wearing. So if we could do a round of applause to our sponsors as well. And I would encourage you all to spend time at their booths and learn about what they have to offer. And again, they'll have a moment during lunch to talk to all of us as well. So today we've assembled 20 different presentations of innovative approaches and thoughtful conclusions that we hope will inspire all of you. We hope that you'll return to your campuses this afternoon or on Monday perhaps, empowered by the new ideas that you've learned inspired by the discussions that you have with your colleagues, and that we hope that, as Joanne said, you've made new connections with your colleagues across the state. We are strongest when we learn from each other and when we work together. And I think the community colleges in New Jersey have a strong tradition of, while being independent, autonomous organizations and entities that do important work on their own, that they come together to help improve community colleges across the state. And I think that model of collaboration is so important, as evidenced by this conference here today and the 18 years of these conferences highlighting best practices. This conference is one of an array of events and services that are provided by the New Jersey Council of County Colleges. Our purpose at the Council is to represent and to support and to strengthen the state's 19 community colleges. Many of you are familiar with our work through our Center for Student Success, working to help get students on a track to complete a credential or degree. Many of you, I hope, are aware of our Consortium for Workforce and Economic Development that does tremendous work helping to coordinate workforce development activities in our colleges. So we are committed at the Council to build on the strong foundation to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to make your jobs easier and to help improve colleges across the state. So thank you all for being here today and being involved in the work of the Council, and I look forward to working with you. A couple other important notes about today's session. First, we've got 20 different presentations today, and we've got 2 sessions this morning, 2 concurrent sessions. We then will have a lunch break, and then we'll have the final 3rd concurrent session. So we hope that you all will stay throughout the day and participate in those sessions. I know that many of you have registered for sessions, so hope that you will go to the sessions and find them valuable. One small note is that one of our sessions, unfortunately, is going to have to be canceled due to a family emergency for one of the speakers. So the session from 10:30 to 11:30, entitled Assessing Student Success of Online Learners, unfortunately has been canceled. So those of you who registered for that, please feel free to go to another session. And if you need information on the sessions, we've got a couple of boards giving you information on where to go, and the students will help direct you. But more importantly, we made a commitment, as we have in the past, to going more paperless, paper-free. And I hope you all know, and hope many of you have downloaded our app that will guide you through today's sessions and today's program, and allow you to post comments and interact with other registrants. So if you have not downloaded and started to use our app, I'd encourage all of you to take out your smartphones, go to the App Store on your phone, search for the New Jersey Council of County Colleges, and download the app that will allow you to look at the program and look at the map of the campus and a lot of other helpful resources to guide you here today. And if you have any questions or concerns about the app, Jessica Britt from our staff is here. Jessica, raising her hand. Thank you, Jessica, for spearheading that effort and all of your work on today's conference. And Jessica can help you navigate the app for those of us who are less tech savvy than Jessica. So thank you, Jessica. As many of you know, I am new to this position. I've been here, I think, 14 weeks. And so I wanted to spend a few moments telling you a little bit about my background and why I felt it was so important to seize this opportunity to join you in the important work that you do. But then I wanted to talk really about where we are and the critical moment that we find ourselves in community colleges. This is an important and exciting time for community colleges. And I wanted to spend a little time laying out some data points that I think are worth us all thinking about as we think about the future of community colleges. First, a little bit about myself. I have, for the last 20 years, had a career focused on research and practice in the broad field of workforce development. I worked at the Heldrick Center for Workforce Development as the Director of Research at Rutgers University for 13 years, leading a team doing a variety of research and consulting projects and program evaluations. I had the honor of doing an important research project for the Council of County Colleges. And in that work at Rutgers, I became more familiar with the important role that community colleges play in our economy and in our state and in our country. I then went to the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development, where I served first as assistant commissioner in the research unit, then as deputy commissioner, and then for a year and a half as the commissioner of the department. And through that work, my understanding and my appreciation of the work that all of you do every day really deepened. And I really was able to understand just how important our 19 community colleges are to our efforts to make sure that all New Jerseyans have access to the education that they need to have a good career and a good life and be good citizens and really achieve economic opportunity. And also how important our community colleges are in making sure that we have the most productive, innovative workforce in the country, in the world here in New Jersey. And so that time, both at Rutgers University in a research capacity and my time at the Department of Labor and Workforce Development really gave me the opportunity to really deeply appreciate all the work that you do every day and the important role of community colleges. And so when this opportunity presented itself, it was clear that this would be something that I would be passionate about, trying to work with all of you and help you continue to advance that important work. So it is an incredible honor to be here and to be in the role of president of the Council of County Colleges. So it's really, as I said, a critical time in community colleges and an exciting time. Many colleges are starting to celebrate 50 years, their 50-year anniversaries. I know Camden County College just celebrated their 50th anniversary, and a number of other colleges will be celebrating. So 50 years of an incredible foundation to build on. And now is a good time with the new administration, Governor Murphy's administration, making a large commitment to community college for us to begin to have these conversations of where will we go in the next 50 years? Where will we go in the next 10 years? And so you will see on your tables, we're going to do some table discussions after I do some opening remarks. But really the questions I think ahead of us are, where have we been and where are we going? And so I want to really reflect on our current accomplishments and really the opportunities today, and to get all of you to start having that dialogue about where we've been and where we're going. So what I've done today is to identify what I think are 10 sets of numbers. I'm a numbers person from my career. 10 key numbers that I think are really interesting for us to think about, that really help to talk about where we are and where we may be going in the years ahead. And there are 10 numbers. The first number is 325,000. So that is the total number of students served by our community colleges each year. That is a significant number of people who every year are touched by our colleges. 224,000 of them are in credit programs, 63,000 are in non-credit, and another 42,000 are in customized training programs, people who are employed and whose skills are being increased while they're working. So that is an incredible number, and put it in a little bit of context. 57% of all undergraduates in New Jersey higher education are enrolled in credit programs at community college. That's the 224,000. So we are a significant portion, a majority of students in higher education are enrolled in our 19 community colleges. It's pretty mixed between full-time and part-time. We have 72,000 full-time fall enrollees, 79,000 part-time, an indication of really the diversity of students that we serve in our community colleges. 83,000 of our credit students are women, 67,000 are men. And these are really gives a sense of really the overall impact of community colleges and the large number of people whose lives are impacted by community colleges. The second number I wanted to put out to you is 23,557. That's the number of students who earn a credential or degree each year from our community colleges. And last year, the number that this represents was the highest number of people earning credentials or degrees from our community colleges in the history of New Jersey's community colleges. So that is an incredible contribution of people who are on a path to a better career, or to higher education by earning those credentials or degrees. 21,727 degrees, and 1,800 certificates. So an incredible indication of the work that you all do. The third number I wanted to throw out is 45%. That is the percentage of four-year college students in New Jersey who have attended a community college, really underscoring the important role that our 19 community colleges play in helping people achieve bachelor's degrees and higher education, and the core role that we play in community colleges and helping people move up the career ladder and get the education that they need. That is an impressive number. That 45% of our four-year college students here in New Jersey have taken courses at community colleges, and in many cases would not be at those four-year colleges pursuing those bachelor's degrees had they not started at a community college and taken advantage of the great services and supports that exist at community colleges. So that is where we are at a high level in terms of what our community colleges do from a numeric standpoint. But I want to turn to talk about how important it is to continue to focus on the mission of community colleges and place this in a broader context. So the next number I wanted to talk about was really something that we all know to be true, but I just wanted to remind us of it, which is that there is a strong relationship between how much education you have received and how well you will do in your career. So individuals in New Jersey who have some college or an associate's degree, unfortunately I lump these two together, unemployment rate of 5.7%, and median earnings of $40,000. But you look at it in terms of other levels of education. So individuals in New Jersey with less than a high school diploma, unemployment rate of 8%, and $22,000 median annual earnings. Those who get a high school diploma, unemployment rate drops to 7.5%, earnings go up $10,000 to $32,000. If you get some college or an associate's degree, 5.7% unemployment rate, $40,000 annual earnings, and if you achieve a bachelor's degree, the unemployment rate goes to 4%, median annual earnings goes to $61,000. So something that we all know to be true because of the work that you do every day and your belief and our collective belief in the importance of education. But again, there is a strong relationship, and that will only get stronger as we continue to have the technological changes and the innovation economy that place more and more premium on how much you know and how much you can do in your jobs. And that is something that we should always remember, the important role that we play in helping to achieve economic opportunity for all of our citizens. The fifth number I wanted to throw out is 51.2%. That is the percentages of New Jersey adults who have earned a post-secondary credential or degree. So we think of New Jersey as being one of the most highly educated states in the country, and that is true. But nearly half of our adults do not have a post-secondary credential or degree. And if you go back to the numbers I just showed you, those are individuals who are likely to be earning less, more likely to be unemployed, more likely to have challenging careers, more likely to not have the opportunities that they need to be able to support themselves and their families. And the research and the consensus among experts, including from the Lumina Foundation, is that we all need to collectively work to increase the percentage of adults in New Jersey and the country and around the country that have a post-secondary industry-valued credential or degree. So the Lumina Foundation has challenged states around the country to adopt an attainment goal. New Jersey, due to the leadership of the Governor's Higher Education Council, has adopted an attainment goal of achieving the goal of 65% by 2025. So we obviously have a fair amount of work to do to be able to continue to help get more people on the path to good paying careers and jobs and good lives as citizens. So just in context, we are a highly educated state, but yet half of our citizens, half of our adults do not have the post-secondary credentials or degrees that they are likely to need. It's important to note that in the recovery after the recession, nearly all of the jobs that were created, the net jobs that were created, were jobs that require some education after high school. So this is a trend that is going to continue going forward. This increased premium that is placed in the labor market on individuals who have a post-secondary industry-valued credential or degree. So while we have a highly educated workforce, it is critical for us to focus on the equity gaps that exist. As all of you know, that 51% of people with an industry-valued credential or post-secondary degree is not equally represented across all populations and all geographies. So there's a great difference by county to county. Cumberland County, 21.5% of the population in Cumberland has an industry-valued credential or degree. You go all the way over to Somerset, and 62.8% of the adult residents of Somerset County have an industry-valued credential or degree. And if we are going to meet this challenge of making sure that we're building pathways to economic opportunity and success for all of our citizens, we're going to need to think about how do we make sure that all of our counties are on a path to getting more people the post-secondary industry-valued credentials and degrees that they need to be successful. And even more concerning are the great equity gaps that exist by race and ethnicity. So 53.9% of white New Jerseyans have an industry-valued credential or degree. But 24.4% of Hispanic New Jerseyans and 32.1% of African-American New Jerseyans have industry-valued credentials or degrees. And so we all need to make a renewed commitment to making sure that while we do our work, that we are helping to make sure that every New Jerseyan has the opportunity to get an industry-valued credential or degree, and to make sure that economic opportunity is open to all of our residents. And there is great disparity also in income, as you all know. At higher income levels, there's much higher rates of post-secondary attainment than there are at lower income levels. And so we need to continue to remember in the work that all of we do that we need to address these very significant equity gaps. The seventh number I want to throw out is 325,000, which actually is also the first number, but this is measuring something totally different. This is the number of adults in New Jersey who have some college credits but no credential or degree. So these are individuals that may have taken some classes on your campuses, and for whatever reason life has intervened and they have not returned to school and not completed that credential or degree. And so this is a huge opportunity and a huge need for us to think about how do we get more of those individuals back to community colleges so that they can complete those credentials or degrees and continue to have those economic opportunities available to themselves. This is an incredible opportunity and an important challenge for us to all to think about how do we continue to serve this adult population that needs our services at community colleges and would benefit from them. The eighth number I want to throw out is 40,000. 40,000 is the number of middle skill job openings in New Jersey. There's been lots of talk and lots of research done on the changing nature of the labor market. But it is pretty clear that while we're seeing very little job growth at the lower levels of the educational levels of job requirements, we're seeing growth both in middle skills. These are jobs that require an industry-valued credential, an associate's degree, something less than a bachelor's degree. And we're also seeing growth, obviously, in jobs that require a bachelor's degree and higher. But there are a significant number of unfilled jobs and job growth in this middle skill category. And this is an area certainly that all of our community colleges focus on, but again, reinforces the tremendous role that all of us play, all of you play, in helping to prepare people for jobs and filling the needs of the economy. And there are many, many jobs, obviously, in this category in healthcare and transportation and advanced manufacturing, in a variety of our key industries in New Jersey, and to keep focusing on these middle skill job openings. The last two numbers I want to throw out really, I think, are reflective of where we are in a very fast-changing economy and labor market. So this number, 11.9, is the number of jobs that the average individual will hold during their career. This is based on current data, longitudinal data done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I think most labor economists would agree that this number is going to increase in the years ahead. 11.9 different jobs. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily 11.9 different careers, but in many cases it might mean different careers. And so it is pretty clear to all of those who are looking at the labor market that Many people's careers will take many, many different twists and turns, and as technology continues to invent new jobs and to help disappear other jobs, that we need to be thinking about how we can prepare our students so that they can thrive in a rapidly changing, unpredictable world. And that the work that they are doing here on our campuses, they may be preparing for their job or their career or their next educational opportunity, but we have an important role in helping people to learn to be lifelong learners, to learn to navigate an incredibly complex and fast-paced and changing world. And the last number I would throw out is 77%. And that is the percentages of individuals in the United States who own a smartphone. So, and I throw that out because it is important to remember, just as we are using an app today to do away with our paper for this conference, we all are relying on technology in ways that we never would have imagined years ago. And the adoption of cell phones and smartphones in particular was incredibly rapid. So you remember a time when we didn't have smartphones, and now 77% of our people in the U.S. in a very short period of time now have an incredible amount of computing power in their pocket, more than was on the rockets that went to the moon, the Apollo missions. And so that's just an indication, I think, one small indication of the rapidly changing world that we live in and the important role that we play in community colleges in preparing our students to live in a rapidly changing world. In 2005, a couple other interesting numbers. 2005, only 5% of people were using social media. In 2016, 70% of Americans were using social media. Broadband at home. In 2000, 1% of households in the United States had broadband internet access at home, and currently it's up to 73%. So if you look at adoption of new technology, it's increasing in its pace. And so if you think about where we are likely to be in 10 or 15, 20 years in terms of what our world will look like, what our jobs will look like, it's likely to be somewhat radically different from what we have today. And so we should never lose sight on the fact that our community colleges and all the work that you're doing are preparing people not just for the short term, but the long term. And how can people best succeed in what is a rapidly changing labor market and world so that they can be able to be on that path to economic opportunity, to be able to be good citizens, to be able to support themselves and their families. So I throw out those 10 numbers, those diverse numbers, to really say we have a strong foundation to build on. We have incredible capacity in our community colleges. But the world is changing, and the challenges are there. But I believe strongly that we all, in this world of community colleges, are best positioned to help make sure that more people are on the path to economic opportunity and that we're building that skilled workforce that will help propel economic growth. And so I ask all of us to seize this opportunity, to continue to discuss ways to, like we're doing today, to improve the work that we are doing, the important work that we're doing, and to really start having those conversations about the community colleges 10 years from now and 50 years. What's the second 50 years of community colleges going to look like? How do we continue to grow and modify and innovate in ways to make sure that all of our residents are seizing those opportunities and adapting to that incredible change? So we have an exciting time. The world is changing. We've got a strong foundation to build on. We have a governor, and Governor Murphy, who, as all of you know, has made an incredible commitment to community colleges. Not only has he committed to free community college tuition and fees for anybody who wants to go to community college, he also is putting community colleges in the midst of many other of their priorities, from how do you grow apprenticeships and how do you increase industry-valued credential attainment, how do you meet that attainment goal. And so Governor Murphy and his administration will be important partners for us in the years ahead. But it is important for all of us to seize that opportunity and to help shape what that future looks like in the Murphy administration. And we are working at the council and with the presidents and with the trustees to help shape that and to work closely with the administration. But we need your help and your ideas on how best to do that. So in the next 20 minutes before we break for our first session, what I'd like to do is to ask all of you to have some discussions at your table on two important questions. And we then will reconvene, I guess, in about, well, we'll do the first question, we'll do 5 minutes of discussion. We'll do the second question, we'll do 5 minutes of discussion. Then I'm going to ask volunteers from a couple of tables to report out on the questions and the answers that were discussed. So the first question is really about accomplishments, and there's a sheet of paper on your table. So I'd encourage all of you to nominate a leader for your table and a note taker, a spokesperson for your table who can take notes and report on what you discussed. And really the first topic is accomplishments. And everybody is off and running. All right, start talking. Community colleges in our first 50 years. So we've got a hand over here in the middle. All right, if you could just introduce yourself. We'll go here and then we'll go back here.
I'm Michael Chando. I'm from Broward, Hudson, Boston County. And some of the items we found that we've gone through college for the past 50 years is open access and accessibility to the community. We bridge the gap transferably to four-year schools, and we also bridge from high schools. So we're making preparing students academically to transition. We also have business partnerships and benefits both academically and administratively. And then I guess we'll end with, we also do cultural enrichment.
Good morning. Rioros from Middlesex County College. We also had open access, affordability, established and articulation agreements with four-year partners, quality faculty, innovation, forward-thinking practices, and engagement in the community through service learning.
Great, thank you. Right here.
Good morning. We said what are our greatest accomplishments? Largest number of graduating students, higher completion rates for transfer students, the students who enter directly to four-year colleges. Higher educational attainment equals higher economic income, that we help the community, and as innovative programming changes, we keep up with the times, and as the job market changes, so does college programming.
Great, thank you. So in the interest of time, let's do one more around accomplishments and then we'll turn to opportunities. So if you could...
I'm from Hudson County Community College. Great accomplishments over 50 years. There's a force opening of many of the associates programs offered for nursing, in career education, increased alignment with high schools and dual credit, with colleges, like having newer work for students. Did you guys hear me?
Here, I'll bring this other microphone to you. It's a big room now.
Meeting the demands of the workforce, opening of a lot of the associate's degrees in nursing, enhancing career technical education, increased alignments with high schools, like offering dual credits, stronger articulations with colleges, having instant decision days, newer degrees develops to meet workforce needs.
All right. Thank you. So it's pretty clear from those four speakers that we have an incredible amount to be proud of, an incredible foundation to build on. So why don't we all give ourselves a round of applause for that. And then let's turn to opportunities. So who wants to share some ideas for the opportunities ahead? Oh, we got one right here. All right.
Okay, so OER and the opportunity to lower costs for students, e-learning, guided pathways, potential pool of students through part-time students, high school partnerships, dual enrollment, industry partnerships, and service learning.
A lot of topics, a lot of opportunities. Who wants to add to that list? Anyone else? I'm sure we can get someone else to add. All right, you walk over here. And then we'll come back over that direction. I'll get my steps in. I'll fit good today.
Good morning, Carl Julian from Atlantic Community College. At our table, we thought that one of our biggest opportunities was that our students will not be adding to the student debt crisis that's pending in this country. Expansion of many different college programs, such as drone technology, as well as an opportunity for many students to explore their different and various career paths.
All right, great. Thank you very much. And thank you for keep applauding while I walk over here. I don't have any downtime. All right. I knew I was going to find the hand that was raised.
We said some similar things as well, but probably leveraging new technology and data in different ways. For example, predictive analytics. Again, growth in distance education and workforce development were some different ones that we had.
Great. Thank you very much. And is there one final person who wants to, all the way in the back? I'm going to go all the way in the back, and then I'll do one more in the front, and then we'll wrap up.
Essex County College, way north, opportunities in universalizing our curricula, taking more in account. We are growing and the statistical communities are changing, so bring in more of their wisdom so that we can also export the type of education we have to our global partners.
So, a good reminder that we are part of a global world, right, and have a responsibility there as well. So let's do one more. I think there's a table in the front who wanted to speak. Is that right? Who wants to get the last word on opportunities? Okay.
Brenda Campbell, Middlesex County College, and we would like to offer research opportunities to our undergraduate students.
So, thank you all for all of the discussions, and thank you to those who were willing to share the ideas from your table. Please, if you can leave the sheets on your table, we will collect them, and the team at the council will try to best summarize the themes that we heard from all of the tables. So I think that, again, as a tremendous set of accomplishments to build on, we can be proud of our 50 years of contributions and the lives that you all have changed. As President Labrilla Morales said, you all are leaders of community colleges, and we're going to continue to look to you to continue to advance this important work. So, 10:30, the next sessions begin. I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you for being here.